Hey, what's up? So we are getting started. Today we're going to talk about not being good enough. And so, do you ever feel like that you're not good enough? Do you feel like you're going to disappoint yourself, your friends, your family, maybe your competitors, judges, coaches, sponsors even. So if you do any kind of action sports, do you ever feel like you want to be better but you just can't make yourself to get to that next level, and then you end up feeling that you're disappointing everyone? And it's super common. And today the topic is to help you get over that, and because that is holding you back from progressing, it's leading or causing you to actually make more mistakes, and it's causing you to make mistakes, fail, potentially get injured, or just embarrassed in the progress. And none of us wants that. So let's figure out how you can get rid of feeling that you're not good enough, so you can actually make some serious progress. I think there's this saying called anxiety is being trapped in the future, and depression is being trapped in the past. And what that means, I think that's a Chinese Chinese proverb, is that if you're really anxious about something, is you're looking forward to, or you're looking into your future, something that hasn't yet happened. Maybe it's a contest that you're anxious about. Maybe it's you're doing this trip and it's going to be if you surf, you're going to be expecting big waves and you might be afraid of those big waves. Maybe it's a trip that you're not confident about your skills, where you are going, or the tricks that you're going to do. So if you're ever feeling that you're not good enough and you're afraid to make mistakes and fail, and then that leads to more mistakes, and the I guess the challenge with that is that you're not trying. And if you're not trying, you can't succeed. If you're not committing, if you're not putting your 110% into what you're doing, then you're making those mistakes. So if you're surfing, if you're snowboarding, if you're doing parkour or free running, and you're trying new tricks, new moves, new maneuvers, or you're going to contest and you're supposed to perform and you're in front of your coaches, and people are expecting a lot of you. The judges are expecting, you're expecting a lot from yourself. You think your family and friends are expecting a lot from yourself. So let's figure out how to get rid of that and how to make yourself progress faster. So the fear from not feeling good enough comes from deep psychology. When we used to live in the savannas and in the tribes, we lived in about and I know this is a little bit science, so just tiny bit, so bear with me, because it makes sense. We used to live in tribes of 150 people, about max. And if you were to commit, make a big mistake, fail to get food for your tribe, or you would steal from someone food, or whatever that happened to be, that people were counting on you, that you would bring food to them, or whatever your position in that tribe happened to be, and you fail the tribe, they might kick you out. So it's a super deep ingrained psychology that is where that feeling of not feeling good enough is kind of rooting from or coming from. So there's a basis for that, and we all go through that at one point or another. So it's totally okay. It's fine, and you will get over it. So in today's world, we're not really, it's not that big of an issue. We're not gonna die. Back in the day, if you were kicked out of the tribe, you'd be very likely to die. So we don't have to worry about that so much anymore. But we still have that deep kind of feeling of not wanting to let people down. not wanting to let yourself down, not wanting to let your sponsors down, because if you do, you might get maybe kicked out of that tribe, your team, or your friends. That is the fear that we are thinking about. That's where the anxiety is coming from, thinking about some negative thing that might happen in the future. But as Mark Twain said, I've had many worries in my life, or misfortunes which never happened. So most of our thoughts about negative things in the future will never happen, but we think our thoughts are real and we act based on them, and that's why we don't commit and we don't try. We're afraid that if I surf this big wave, I'm gonna get wiped out and I'm gonna hit my head, get a concussion, and drown. So that's the basic thought process. Or if you're a free runner and you're gonna do some crazy trick over a roof gap, you might start thinking like, oh shit, what if I trip and don't make it to the other side and fall and get injured and break my back and whatnot. Or if you're a snowboarder, you're hitting a rail or a jump, and you're starting to think all the worst case scenarios of what could happen. So that is the anxiety part of not being good enough and making mistakes. So living in the tribe, we're not there that much anymore, but we still are. So that is where this fear of, or this feeling of not being good enough, fear of letting other people down is coming from. And I talk about, it's rooted into making mistakes basically. And there's an illusion that mistakes are bad. And I want to shatter that illusion right now. Let's get rid of that, because we think that learning is about getting things right, but it's not so much that. Learning is about correcting mistakes. When you're progressing, when you're improving whatever sport you're into or in your life, you are always making progress, forwards or backwards, or you get stuck in a plateau. And if you don't analyze your mistakes, so I talk about this in my book Pro Mental Game, is how do you analyze mistakes and how can you use mistakes to leverage them to improve faster in your life. You obviously need to have some goal, what you want to achieve, and you need to know where you are at right now. You need to know what are you good at, what are you doing right, what do you need to do more or less, what do you need to do differently to reach that goal that you want to achieve. Maybe that's a trick that you want to learn, new maneuver, new turn, new aerial, new move, whatever that happens to be, that's your goal. And there's a gap between where you are and where you want to go. So by analyzing your mistakes, you will be able to progress faster, because when you make mistakes, there's an opportunity for you to improve. If you keep repeating your mistakes, then you get stuck on a plateau. So the faster you correct your mistakes, the faster you make progress, right? All right, so there's a Greek philosopher whose name is Confucius, a very confusing name, and he said that, a man who makes a mistake and doesn't correct it is committing another mistake. All right? So you need to analyze and correct your mistakes, and the faster you do that, the faster you improve. If as an athlete you're mostly, just you're going so fast that you're running these automations in a way, you do a trick, you fail or you make a mistake and it doesn't go as well as you wanted to. Most of us, just keep repeating that. You don't stop and think. And what you need to do is, I have these 4 questions, and this comes from MG180X, which is the mental game system that I developed to help athletes progress faster and get access to their full potential, so you can actually become the best you can be. This is called Fall Up as a technique, and there's 4 questions that I want you to get into, or I'd like you to get into, into habit of asking yourself. And the first question is, what went well and why? So, when you make a mistake, when you fail, what went well and why? So first we get focused on the good things, on the positive. Because if you start by focusing on the negative, it's harder to stay on a positive mode. That's why we give hamburger feedback. You always tell the good thing first, then you tell what needs to be improved, and then the last one is recap the good stuff, right? That's a good way to give feedback if you never tried it. Highly recommend it if you want to get any idea through to any person, even yourself. That's why we're doing this. So number one question is, ask yourself after you make a mistake, whether you're surfing, whether you're snowboarding, whether you are doing free running or parkour, ask yourself what went well and why. When you ask that, you'll first get focused on what went well in that trick, like what did you do right, and then you will also, when you ask why did it went well, it will give you understanding how you can repeat the part of the trick or move or maneuver that actually went well. All right. Question number 2 is, what do I need to do more? So do I need to twist my body more, or do I need to, turn my head more, or do I need to pop more, or do I need to, take more speed with my arms, or what do I need to do more? All right. So you got 2 questions so far. Third one is, what do I need to do less or not at all? So in that trick, in that move, in that maneuver, what can you do less or not at all? This will help you understand what's the part that's not, that is not working. All right. So that's question number 3. And then question number 4 is, what do I need to do differently? So what is it in this that I need to do differently? And this is a super high level, a mental, a meta thinking strategy that usually only pros use, because they get to that level where they figure this stuff out. And I want to give it to you because it's going to help you dramatically to, really dramatically, significantly, improve your results, learn faster, and get rid of that, feeling of not being good enough. You understand where you are right now, you know your past, know your accomplishments, what you've done well, and then know your goals and set proper expectations. We're going to talk about that in probably some of the next video. But so question number 4 is, what do you need to do differently? This will twist your brain in a way that you're back looking at the positives again. And sometimes you don't need to answer all of these questions, and it's just something that you run through your mind. It's going to take you, 10 seconds, 20 seconds to quickly just run through these on your mind. So if you're, you're a surfer and you catch a wave and then you make a mistake, as you're paddling out or when you're sitting in a lineup, you can run through this strategy. And then you're not repeating the mistake, but you're giving your brain, you're typing into the Google of your brain the address where you want to go. Okay? Does that make sense? So you're giving you're priming, with your thoughts, you're priming your body to do what you command it to. So if you just think about all the worst case scenarios, your body is primed to do that. It just, executes what your brain commands it to. All right, so you got those 4 questions. Start getting to a habit of doing this, and put it into practice. These are no magic tricks. They only work when you use them. So the more consistently you're using these, the more consistently you get better results. All right, makes sense, right? All right, cool. So that's it for today. One thing, we're doing this stuff live every week, every Monday. If you want to join the live version, you can do so by going to Form Supreme Facebook page. So it says facebook.com/Form Supreme. So like the page, and you will get a little ping when we're doing this. Second of all, progression triad. Need to learn it to understand how to progress faster and fundamentally get access to all the 4 areas that you need to practice to become the best you can be. All right, we're running out of time. I need to go. So go get that. I'm going to leave a link in the YouTube descriptions for that, or you can just go to formsupreme.com. And that will help you get access to understanding what it takes to become the best you can be, what it takes to progress faster, improve, have more fun, and not get stuck on those goddamn plateaus. All right, sound good? I'm pretty sure that I've covered it all. Everything. That's all you need to know for now. All right, come back next week, and I will see you soon. Take care. Peace out. Bye-bye.